You're not here by accident. Something deep inside you, call it intuition, call it your soul's quiet knowing, led you to this very moment. And once you open your heart to these words, you might begin to understand why. Maybe lately you felt overwhelmed. As if life itself is spinning into chaos, heavy with uncertainty and challenges that seem to make no sense. But what if I told you that this very turmoil could be the clearest sign that you're about to step into the most powerful, beautiful, and meaningful chapter of your life? The universe rarely shouts at first. Instead, it whispers, through subtle signs, quiet nudges, and fleeting moments of insight. Yet most people miss them. They mistake them for misfortune, for bad luck. They give up right before everything is about to change. But not you. Because you're here. And just by listening, you're already choosing to pay attention. Perhaps you've started questioning everything you thought you knew about life. Your beliefs, your values, your goals, your very purpose. At first, this questioning feels unsettling, almost frightening. It shakes the ground beneath you. But in truth, this discomfort is sacred. It means something inside you has begun to awaken. The old mental structures you once trusted start to crumble. And as painful as that might feel, it's life clearing space for something more real, something aligned with who you truly are. You start asking yourself, who am I, really? What do I truly want? Am I living in a way that honors my soul's calling? These questions are not signs of confusion. They are gateways. And once you walk through them, you can't go back to who you were before. Suddenly, familiar things lose their meaning. What used to bring comfort now feels empty. Certainties vanish, and while it may feel like you're losing your footing, what's actually happening is far more profound. You're finding your true path. It can feel like chaos, but it's really creation in disguise. The universe strips away the masks you've worn, the false roles you've played, the outdated beliefs that kept you small. And what remains is something raw, honest, and real, the authentic you. Yes, it's frightening to let the familiar fall apart. But that falling apart is what creates space for what's meant to come. You're not broken. You're breaking free. As your perspective shifts, you may notice the people, habits, and routines that once defined your world no longer feel right. Relationships fade, old comforts turn suffocating, and you start shedding what no longer resonates with the new energy rising within you. This process is like an internal detox. It filters out what drains your spirit, keeping only what nourishes your soul. And it's hard, because even your pain and your fears felt familiar. But they're not your true identity. They were only tools for who you were then, not who you're becoming. And what lies beyond this shedding? That's the true miracle. A new version of yourself, more resilient, more conscious, more deeply connected to what matters most. You may feel at first as a quiet stirring, a subtle blend of fear and hope. A sense that something extraordinary is just around the corner. That's your intuition speaking. It's your soul's way of telling you your consciousness is expanding, and the old limits you placed on yourself are dissolving. New dreams emerge, new purpose blossoms, and new energy rises to meet you. It's like clearing weeds so that a garden of life can flourish. You begin to notice small signs, chance encounters, synchronistic moments, unexpected words from strangers, a book that seems to find you at just the right time. These aren't random. They're messages from the universe, gently guiding you forward. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, you feel it in your heart, you're on the right path. Because the act of questioning itself is transformation in motion. It isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The kind of wisdom that rises when you stop ignoring your soul and start truly listening. As you lean deeper into this transformation, the outside world starts to reflect your inner changes. Your reality shifts, not because the world itself has changed, but because you have. You've opened your eyes. You've reclaimed your power. So don't run from the questions. Embrace them. Welcome the uncertainty. Let yourself feel the discomfort, because that means you're growing. Every true transformation starts this way, with confusion, doubt, and the unsettling sense of falling apart. But what's really happening is you're falling into place. And as you surrender to this process, you begin to see what you couldn't see before. The universe has been sending signs all along, patiently waiting for you to be ready. And now, you are. Slowly, you begin to feel a disconnection from your past. Not as a rejection, but as a gentle release. The hobbies, conversations, and routines that once felt alive now seem hollow. The people you once felt so deeply connected to begin to drift away. Places that once felt like home now feel distant. This isn't random. It's your soul telling you that you've outgrown what once served you. It's a quiet but profound sign that you're making room for something new. Yes, there's sadness in letting go. But there's also freedom, a clearing in your heart where new life can take root. The memories remain, but they no longer define you. The old roles and masks slip away, revealing the raw, honest self that was always waiting beneath. And although you may feel like you're losing your identity, what's truly happening is that you're becoming who you were meant to be. You'll begin to notice your beliefs evolving, especially the limiting ones you never thought to question. The version of yourself who lived by fear, who chased validation, who settled for good enough, begins to fade. And in that empty space, something far truer starts to rise. At first, fear will walk beside you, the fear of letting go, of losing what you've known. But alongside that fear comes liberation. Freedom from who you used to be. Space for who you can become. That emptiness you sometimes feel isn't emptiness at all. It's potential. It's the fertile ground of new beginnings. And as this transformation deepens, clarity begins to come. You stop looking to the world outside to tell you who you are. Instead, you turn inward, listening to the quiet but powerful voice of your intuition. You begin to trust that voice. And slowly, the noise of the world fades. In its place rises a deeper truth. The life you were always meant to live is not the life shaped by fear or obligation, but the life shaped by your soul's deepest calling. You find yourself questioning what you once thought was important. Material goals, social approval, other people's opinions, they begin to lose their grip. And though this can feel disorienting, it's a sign that you're awakening to what truly matters. True fulfillment doesn't come from what you collect, but from what you create, experience, and share. From living a life that feels real, that resonates deep within. At first, the answers might not be clear. You may feel lost between what once felt essential and what's starting to call you now. But in that space of unknowing, something beautiful happens. You open yourself to possibility. The universe is guiding you, not toward perfection, but toward authenticity. Toward a life that feels alive, honest, and deeply yours. And yes, it takes courage. Because you must let go of what once defined you, even when you don't yet know what will replace it. But as you do, something extraordinary happens. You stop living from the outside in, and you begin to live from the inside out. You stop chasing what you think you should want and start discovering what your soul truly longs for. And though it may feel like your world is falling apart, what's really happening is that your true self is finally breaking free. So if you find yourself standing in the ashes of what you used to be, take heart. You're not lost. You're being reborn. This is the beginning, not the end. The universe has been waiting for you to see the truth that's always been there. You were never meant to live a life that was safe, predictable, and small. You were meant to awaken. To question. To rise. To become. And now, finally, you are. You feel the need to follow the flow of what society defines as success. It's as if a new energy is taking hold of you, pulling you toward a more authentic life, one less influenced by external expectations. This process isn't only about rejecting the old, it's about allowing the new to enter. The passions and interests you may have set aside are suddenly reclaiming your attention. Maybe you're rediscovering old activities you had forgotten, or even exploring new areas you never thought to consider. You no longer care about fitting into a system or following a well-worn path. Instead, you're seeking a road that reflects your true values, your real purpose, the one only you can define. This questioning may bring with it a temporary sense of loneliness. At first, you might feel disconnected from old friends or your usual social circle. It's a natural part of distancing yourself from external expectations in order to find your inner truth. But don't be afraid. This loneliness is only temporary. In that quiet space, self-awareness begins to grow. And over time, you'll start attracting people who share your new vision, people who resonate with your evolving worldview. It's like experiencing a reset. What no longer serves you starts to fade, and in its place, a renewed energy connects you with what truly matters. This process of questioning isn't a crisis. It's an awakening that prepares you for something bigger, deeper, and more aligned with your purpose. And although the journey might seem uncertain at first, you'll come to see that it's exactly what you needed to become the best version of yourself. You begin to feel more connected to your intuition than ever before. It's as if a new kind of inner clarity awakens within you. Suddenly, life begins to make more sense, everything carries a deeper meaning, and every choice feels more natural. What once felt uncertain now becomes obvious. You're no longer lost in the chaos of your thoughts, something within starts guiding you, showing you which direction to take. Intuition is that gentle inner voice, that gut feeling that tells you what to do even when logic can't explain why. The key is learning to trust this inner wisdom. And as you do, you'll notice that decisions become easier because you're acting from a deeper place, one that's connected to your true self. This awakening of intuition rarely happens overnight. It often begins with small signs, a hunch that leads you down a different path, or a wave of calm that finds you in the middle of uncertainty. At first, it might be hard to recognize, the noise of everyday life can drown out that quiet voice. But as you give it space and listen more closely, you'll see it grow stronger and clearer. Intuition shows up in many forms, a sudden thought, an unexplainable certainty, or even a physical sensation that signals what feels right or wrong. As you learn to trust it, your choices become less about fear and more about alignment. You stop overanalyzing every step because you begin to trust that your intuition is guiding you exactly where you need to be. This deeper connection also allows you to notice what once went unseen. You read between the lines, sense the energy of people and situations, and feel what words can't say. And as you trust this voice, a profound peace begins to take root within you, a sense of being exactly where you're meant to be, even if you don't have all the answers. Fear and doubt slowly lose their power over you because your choices are no longer rooted in fear, but in a deep understanding of who you are and what truly matters. This marks the start of a new phase of self-discovery and empowerment. Your life begins to flow with a grace you never imagined, simply because you're living in harmony with your true nature. As this new chapter unfolds, you notice yourself becoming more drawn to personal growth. Your mind opens wider than ever before, and you're no longer satisfied with what you once knew. There's a powerful desire rising within you, not just to exist, but to evolve, to improve, and to push your limits. You start seeking new knowledge, books, courses, conversations that challenge the way you see the world. It feels as if you're hungry to learn, to grow, and to become the most authentic, powerful version of yourself. You find yourself exploring parts of who you are that you never dared to look at before, your hidden passions, your deepest fears, your limitations. And there's a quiet urgency in your heart that whispers, now is the time. This isn't about collecting facts or appearing wise. It's about feeling whole, living closer to your values, and stepping into the purpose your soul has always known. Personal growth becomes more than a desire, it becomes a necessity. Something your spirit craves so deeply that it changes how you live each day. You start letting go of old beliefs and welcoming new perspectives. What once seemed like a clear path now feels too narrow, you realize it's time to discover new directions, new ways of thinking and being. This journey won't just transform your outer life, it will reshape your inner world in ways you can't yet imagine. And as your mind opens, you begin asking deeper questions. Who am I really? What is my purpose? What do I truly want to create in this lifetime? This isn't just curiosity, it's a sign that your spirit is ready to break free from the comfort zone you once thought was enough. You're not just searching for answers, you're longing for transformation, for a life where the ordinary feels extraordinary. At the same time, you feel called to heal. You face old wounds, limiting beliefs, and patterns that once held you back. You're ready to let them go, knowing that only by releasing the past can you make room for what your soul longs to welcome. This process isn't always easy, but it becomes the most meaningful part of your journey. Slowly, your life starts to center around what truly matters: growth, connection, and authenticity. The small distractions that once consumed your days lose their power. You begin to surround yourself with people who also feel this call to evolve, people who challenge you to think deeper and live more courageously. You stop seeking validation from the outside world and start building a life that feels right on the inside. And then comes a powerful moment. You feel an intense desire to break free from relationships and situations that no longer support your evolution. Things and people that once felt like home now feel heavy or draining. What you once tolerated, you can no longer bear, not out of anger, but from a place of love and self-respect. You see clearly that in order to step into who you're meant to be, you must let go of what dims your light. You realize that clinging to the familiar isn't worth the cost of staying small. And while the process of letting go may hurt, it's also the most empowering thing you can do. It's not about rejecting others, it's about honoring yourself. You understand now that your peace matters, your time matters, your heart matters. And so, with courage, you release what no longer serves you, and something beautiful begins to unfold. New connections blossom, relationships that feel light, honest, and expansive. People who truly see you and support your growth find their way into your life. Slowly, your world fills with bonds that nurture your spirit rather than drain it. And in this space, you discover a deeper kind of love, one rooted in truth and mutual respect. You stop settling for half-hearted connections and welcome the kind that reflect your highest self. You begin to feel a powerful disconnection from everything that no longer resonates with your spirit. What once felt essential now seems less important. Familiar routines lose their hold, and old places start to feel distant. This isn't failure or regret, it's evolution. You're shedding layers that no longer fit so you can grow into your truest self. At first, this may feel confusing, even sad. But beneath the discomfort, there's a quiet freedom, the sense that you're finally ready to let go and trust what comes next. You see your fears lose power, your old worries fade, and a calm strength rise in their place. It's not about rejecting your past, but about recognizing that your future requires a lighter heart. As you let go, your life becomes less about what you should do and more about what feels right deep within. And slowly, almost silently, you awaken to a deeper truth: the life you're stepping into is not just different, it's yours. The universe has always guided you, sometimes gently, sometimes through disruption, but always with love. And if these words speak to you now, trust that it's not by accident. Something within you is awakening, calling you to rise. If you answer that call, you will discover a new chapter, one where peace, clarity, and authenticity become your new foundation. You're not just changing your life, you're transforming your very consciousness. And though the journey may still hold uncertainty, it holds far greater promise. So stay open. Stay brave. And keep going. Because this isn't just about growth, it's about becoming who you truly are. You're not alone on this path. And if you feel called to keep exploring, keep walking with us. There is so much more to uncover. And together, we will keep growing, expanding, and stepping into the truth of who we really are.